Ladies and gentlemen, sweaty spooks, and welcome back to my channel. Quite recently, we were discussing the Void Hunter in Trials, and I'm happy to report that I was able to work my way into Flawless using this build. The following footage is the latter three games of my card, the first match showing that I had lost my Mercy and had no choice but to win the next two matches. And I'm not gonna lie, on the Flawless match, the third one, I got a little lucky. It's not exactly my preferred way of going Flawless, but it did give me access to the weapon, so I could continue to play Trials for a better role. This week's Trials weapon would feature the Immortal Strand Aggressive SMG coming in hot for a whopping 750 RPM. You could say it's highly sought after at the moment. If you're ever looking for some extra content to listen to throughout the day, I offer the Blueberry Lounge podcast available on Spotify and Apple Podcasts alongside my co-host, Native Raider. If you found any entertainment or value from this, please consider liking and subscribing. Cheers, Guardians. Very good. Well, listeners, that just about wraps up the interview portion of episode 9. So we are going to get into the show topic of the week right after this. You know what, Raider? You know what I was thinking, man?
What's that?
Well, I was just sitting here and I was just kind of thinking to myself, you know, maybe we should start a clan. Like, I don't know. Do you think that's too wild of an idea?
I don't think so. I think people would love it, and I know I would love it.
Yeah, well, why don't we give them a short description of what we're about? So, the Blueberry Lounge podcast is starting a clan. The founder's playlist, of course, is PvP. However, we hope to build a community centered around an improvement mindset within all of the game's facets. With this, we'll build an approachable environment where you may even schedule specific events from raids, trials, GMs, or even private matches.
And what sets us apart from other Destiny 2 clans, you might ask, is although the journey is early, the Blueberry Lounge is part of a clan alliance known as the Owl Sector Alliance. With this alliance, we not only have the support of, but also support 4 other clans, and we offer a bot for an internal LFG with these folks. It's really amazing. It's called the 100.io, and you'll be connected with the following communities: Guardian Downcast, 2 Titans and a Hunter, the Guardian Hub, and Potato Thumbs.
Now, most of us folks are parents or adults, but I mean, we do got some young bucks showing us up in the crucible. And Mr. Jealous from the Guardian Downcast, I'm looking at you, brother. Blueberry Lounge also offers scrims, some focus scrims, and we are currently adding a Destiny 2 Jeopardy event.
So please join us. All are welcome. We're happy to teach and especially learn. We're all about the improvement focus process.
Thank you for your time, Guardian, and cheers.
Yeah. Oh, Sin gonna sneak in there. I think they'll care.
He is more than welcome.
Yeah, he says he has about 30 minutes before a raid he's gonna join.
Yep.
You should give him flack. Be like, you'd rather raid with people than join us. Well, he's here.
Yeah?
Hello.
Yo, what up, what up, what up?
It's Sin Weedia here.
I don't know about all that.
Sin, you're doing a raid instead of join them. I even turned down some raids tonight to join them.
Man, I didn't even know I was going to be home this late.
We see where your priorities are.
Listen, I rushed home. I knew I had to be here briefly. I even got Taco Bell. I got a giant Taco Bell box.
It doesn't answer the question. You're still going to turn them down and do a raid instead?
We're like mid-podcast right now.
Yeah, they're taking a little break. So they're not even hearing this. Dang it.
We're going to have it recorded.
On contraire, it's still recording.
Yep.
Did you hear everything?
All right, I'm back.
Yeah.
So Sin joined, but he's not going to be here long because he'd rather raid than be part of your podcast. I actually turned down raids tonight to be part of the podcast.
Oh, I appreciate
So
that,
give
man.
him flack. Give him flack.
It's bullshit.
It's true shit.
Is it all a lie?
It's true shit.
I even
Awesome. Sin, how are you doing, bro?
when you go back and listen to the recording, there's even a native Raider intro in there for you.
Perfect,
yeah.
because we ran that for the intro part too. Like, we made Guardian Hub take over our intro, so that's perfect.
If my mouth is full of Taco Bell, I'm sorry.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. We've also had a guest appear. In the meantime, may I please welcome to the show the Mr. Magical himself that we gave a shout out to earlier. He's joined us. It's Mr. Sin Media. How are you today, sir?
I call that the best sin on the net. I am great. I just got off work, saw the show notes come through, and I'm like, I see you have enough room in the green room. I think I'm gonna just like sneak on in.
Decided to bust in like a bull in a china shop.
Hey, that's a Titan for you.
Hell yeah. Let it go.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, hey, let's just do this right quick. So, Sin, what got you into Destiny, may I ask?
Oh man, I've told this story before, but probably D1 around King's Fall, it was like kind of my first jumping into it. But I had a friend, a buddy of mine at work, let me know what Destiny was. I had it was an Xbox or the PS3, probably PS4 at the time, and played it. Didn't really play it a lot, and then came back again at Rise of Iron. Started listening to podcasts at that time. But yeah, it was all a buddy of mine at work that really got me into it, and I've stuck with it since.
Perfect. Well, welcome to the lounge, my friend. I'm so glad that you were able to join us for the time that you're able to be here.
Heck yeah. Happy to join in and support.
Thank you,
Absolutely. And
All right.
Mr. Reader, my good friend, would you move us into the show topic of the week?
Yeah, so our show topic for this week, we're going to do a deep dive on the new raid, Root of Nightmares, and we're going to just break it down, talk a bunch of different things about it as much as we possibly can to really expand and show our opinions on what we think about it. There's a lot of opinions floating around there, good and bad, but let's hear from some of these professionals that we have on our show tonight. So starting off, we'll go with you, Kingsley. First, your initial thoughts overall on the raid as a whole.
Yes. My initial thoughts overall as a whole is I love the aesthetics. It's fun. It is new right now. I'm pretty good at judging things long term, although of how I think of this overall, which I can't give it truly a rating yet or anything, but right now, to be fair, I'm gonna have to put it somewhere in the middle. It definitely isn't top of the list. But it definitely isn't like my least favorite raid, like Baltic Glass, which is my least favorite. As far as easiness, there's been a lot of discussion. It's just my quick 2 cents, and we can talk more about this later if you want more details. But it is easier than other raids as far as learning the mechanics. But you still have to execute them well, and you have to execute them fast. So that's really the differentiation of what everyone's saying. And when you talk about these top tier players, these streamers that have no clue what the real world is like an average D2 player, yes, it's easier for them. I would say this raid for top tier players and upper mid tier players, it's a lot easier. But maybe if you're not as experienced of a raider, a lower tier player, this raid could ironically almost be harder because even though you can learn the mechanics easy, there's more ads. You have to move a lot quicker. You have to do things like that. So that's a really interesting thing that I'm noticing. And but still, though, in the long run, it may be a little less of a favorite of a raid, but still having a lot of fun with it right now. So that's just my initial impressions.
All right. That's awesome. Des?
Well, I obviously can't speak from a playing perspective, but at least from watching it, it is visually gorgeous. Oh my god, it is actually a good-looking raid. I like the spaces; they look nice. Lore-wise, it is actually fantastic. I actually love Nezarek, considering he talks so much trash to you as you're traversing through it. It is absolutely fantastic.
That's fun.
I will definitely probably, just from what I've seen, I would definitely agree with Kingsley's rating of it being probably mid-tierish. Because as much as I thought the same thing about Deepstone Crypt, it doesn't usually rate that high with people. Even though I feel like Deepstone and this one just have a lot of in common, that a lot of it wasn't really hard to grasp, but I wouldn't necessarily call it easier. You know, it's just different aspects. But yeah.
Okay, so that's 2 for mid tier. What about you, Sen? Have you played through it yet?
So I've played through half of it. I've done third and
Okay.
fourth encounter. I'm doing my full playthrough on it tonight. I did get a chance to watch a little bit of the streams day one with people going for contest mode. So I saw a little bit of what the raid was really about at that point. Just from a perspective using, third and fourth encounter, which I've enjoyed both of them. I would probably say I'm gonna agree, probably more mid-tier. The ad density on it is definitely there. So folks that are not used to that kind of ad density and getting, we'll say not from too much of a spoiler standpoint, but getting booped around by Nezarec in the fourth encounter with that sort of mechanic, it is a lot. There's a lot going on, and you got a few mechanics there to play with. But with the ads coming at you in all different angles, and plus that boss mechanic, yeah, it can be a little tough for those that are not familiar with certain things in Destiny. It can be a little off-putting there, but I would rate it mid-tier. Probably not my favorite. A lot of people know that I'm hoping for Wrath to come back during the reprise raids, and I hope it does. But I'd probably rank it mid, somewhere in the middle.
You don't have to say that just because I said it.
Well, I mean, it's
No,
my
but yeah,
it's my feeling. I mean,
Yeah.
And here's the other part of it, right? Just from listening to everybody talk about it and knowing what the last 2 encounters are with those, the auras that you get from the orbs and connecting the lines of these orbs, right? The mechanics don't change much. I believe it was Crown where they took the original mechanic from first
How's the
encounter and they
audio
built
got
on
cut
that
out
mechanic
there?
throughout the raid and slightly changed it in encounters of the actual raid. This, my understanding, doesn't really change much. The mechanics are the same for the most part all the way through. Outside of Encounter 3, where you're moving the planets around, it is slightly different there, but you're not connecting those lines.
Yeah, pretty much. The only difference is the first encounter, there's only light. There's not light and dark. But the second encounter, light and dark. The last encounter, light and dark. It's the same connection aspect either way. Yep.
Right.
Sweaty thoughts? Me and you, we ran through it not too long ago together, from start to finish.
You guys have it
You're
clear?
certainly correct.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yep, I have it clear. Yep. So, okay. I'm going to set the precedent that my perspective